Hey guys, this is Norms and I previously uploaded a video about a laptop for under 40,000 pesos. So now we will mix up a bit. For this category, I'll be giving you guys the top 20 best laptops for under 50,000 pesos. And this will be a mixed edition. So anyway, let's start. Starting off with number 1 is the Dell Inspiron 7559. Up to this point, the 7559 is still the best looking budget gaming laptop with a rock solid specs and also maintenance friendly for upgrades. For specs, for the price of 47,600 pesos, you'll be having a Core i5 6300HQ with an Nvidia GeForce GTX 964 gigabytes of GDDR5, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 256 gigabyte SSD. This has a 15.6-inch Full HD IPS display, and adding that for around 50,700 will be the Core i7 model. Same specs, although for the storage you'll be having a 1TB hybrid hard drive with 8GB of SSD cache. Number 2 will be the Asus UX305LA FC014T. This laptop is an ultrabook that is best for carrying around for travels and basic thing for schoolwork, and with its sleek design, it's really light to carry around. For tech specs here, you'll be having a price of 48,995 with the Core i5 5200U, which is a Brawler processor, 4 GB of RAM, 256GB SSD, a 13.3-inch 1080p display, and yes, Intel HD graphics, and it is really good for long battery use or on-the-go travels. Number 3 will be the HP Pavilion 15 Star Wars Power of the Dark Side Special Edition. An Natasha theme or really good collector's item for Star Wars fan. Whatever. This is a great laptop for its main attraction to a lot of people. This laptop does not disappoint to make masses. It really brings a laptop that is priced right that makes the theme really quote unquote may the force be with you. For specs on this one, this is priced at around 47,990 and you'll be having an updated processor, so 6200U, 8 gigs of RAM, and Intel HD 520 with Nvidia GeForce 940M, a 15.6-inch Full HD 1080p display, and this laptop is actually really great for budget gamers and basic editors. Number 4 will be the Asus VM590LB F1612T. I may say this is actually an affordable laptop as a basic multimedia, but this 15.6-inch laptop delivers the most convenient experience and a reasonable specs to go with, but it may be high price range. For specs on this one, you'll be costing at around 49,995 for the Core i7 Broadwell processor 5500U with a Full HD 8 gigs of RAM and a 940M for basic gaming. Number 5 will be the Acer Aspire E5 473G 598, and so this laptop is made to be colorful, but this 14-incher packed a really great specs. Not really that great, but really decent specs for the price to performance segment than the basic laptops that we already seen before on the 30k budget. So under 31,990, it has a Core i5 CPU, but you can get actually the Skylake version. 4 gigs of RAM, a 940M graphics, and 14-inch 768p display with a 1TB hard drive. This is actually really great for students as well if you want to have a more affordable and budget friendly. Number 6 will be the Alienware 13R2. This gaming laptop is actually really light and amazing looks for serious gamers, and does not actually disappoint to break their backs when carrying around. This Alienware has decent specs under the hood. We have exactly around 50k for the 13.3-inch 768p display, a Core i5 6200U with an Nvidia GeForce GTX 960M with 2 gigs of VRAM and a 500GB hybrid storage with 8 gigs of cache. And yes, you also have 4 gigs of RAM. For this kind of laptop, it is really reasonable and good for a budget if you like Alienware. Number 7 will be the Lenovo IdeaPad Z5075. This is actually an AMD machine focused on basic work, basic play, and multimedia life. It is a 50.6 inch that is more likely targeted on consumer class or basic gamers to be exact. For specs on this one, 45600 is not a bad deal. With an AMD processor, AMD Kaveri A10-7300 with a 50.6 inch HD TN panel display, 2 gigs of R6 and 255 dual graphics, and your RAM will be 4 gigabytes of DDR3. For this kind of laptop, this isn't a more high-end stuff, but it can get the job done. Number 8 will be the MacBook Air 2015 11.6 inch. So if you want to have an OS X, well, here you go. This lower price is actually really great for editing, Final Cut Pro, and due to its slim design and also light, you have a longer battery life compared to other ultrabooks. So for this kind of price, it is really reasonable. For 499, you will be having a Core i5 5250U with 4 gigs of RAM, a 256GB of storage, and 11.6 inch with 768p display. And of course, not to miss out, the 6000 GPU from Intel for basic use. For this kind of laptop, this is actually really great, and you'll be having the OS X experience for this kind of price range. Number 9 will be the Microsoft Surface Pro 4. The tablet from Microsoft is still the best for its category, but due to its higher price tag, it is still the best looking and also really portable if you're an on-the-go traveler who wants to have a laptop on their bags with nothing to carry around, with lots of dongles, or even worse, a really heavy bulky laptop. For this kind of price, under the price of 49,100, you'll be expecting to have an Intel Core M processor with 128GB SSD, a 4 gigs of RAM, and also this one has a clock speed of 2.2 by the way, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 802.11 ABG, and Windows 10 Pro. For the resolution, I could say this is 2736 by 1824 pixels, and this is actually a really great laptop for a 12.3 incher for your portable use and also for traveling. Number 10 will be the Lenovo ThinkPad U450. This tough notebook is really comfortable for a lot of business users alike. Well, it might not be slick or stylish at the same time, but it brings a ThinkPad family for generations to generations, making a lot of business users trust the ThinkPad line. For this kind of price, under $49.90, you'll be having a basic Core i3 processor, 5005U, 4GB of RAM, a 1TB hard drive, and also Intel HD graphics, which is not too new, 14-inch 768p display. And if you want to up to another spec here for around this price range, you'll be having a more specs for the Core i5 model right here. You'll be seeing it a little bit later on the website, and I'll be posting and also link in the description. Alright, so this is the first part of the top 20 laptops for under 50,000 pesos, and I'll be posting the second part for the other 10 laptops that I do actually recommend for. Due to the fact that my audio got broken, and another thing is that this could take a little bit longer, so I want to make it short, so I just made it into 2 parts. So anyway, this is Norms, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.